man, Keith McDaniel. Okay, if you go to 47 CFR section 76151, that would indicate signals to our brain to stimulate an antenna for radio, TV. This is connected to Channel 12 News in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They'll also indicate the capacity of the tonnage going to our nose, specifically Adrian Lawrence, Keith McDaniel, and E. Watkins. Very proud to be able to tell you this. I'm suffering. I'm putting antibiotic ointment. Look what I put on my head. Look what I put on my head every day. This is why. The problem is, I'm knowing why I'm doing it, but this is why I know I'm doing it. Because I can pull up this, I can look at that illustration anytime I want to. I keep a copy. 35 USC 2, the patent. It uses radio station as an earth, that satellite on top of the News 12 on Broad Street. It uses that as an earth station. It's part of the network. The thing is, that network is using our brain as continuity to pass power. Okay, somebody just said transfer. I'm gonna say transfer biological and chemical weapons, or I'm gonna say transfer data. You know, even when they swipe their cards, I facilitate that data. You know what I mean? Really, I'm a conductor of energy. But when you look at Space Backbone Network, you will see what's coming straight down on my head. According to my knowledge, that's 47 CFR section 76.51. That's the capacity of the current going in my head, or the Wi-Fi, the tonnage. There may even be quibbles of data. I'm not sure. Somebody said it's quibbles of data. But anyway, we all are getting that to our head. Eve, Asia, and Keith McDaniel. What about the blockchain? I'm talking about the data that I have before me that I've researched. It ain't talking about the blockchain. But yeah, you trying to take status from me, Eve, and Asia, and Keith McDaniel. The section code, what I'm studying, what I'm trying to convey, doesn't. Why? I'm working. Yeah, but you go to 47 USC code, section 338, it will tell you how the radio station has committed to common carriers. That would be me, Eve, and Asia in this case. And I just did a rough draft, a Farmer's Paupers rough draft. I mean, I did it with my ink pen, my mind. Space Backbone Network. I'm always turning these in. What it basically tells me is that now, in reference to the blockchain, they use the blockchain for the radio stations antenna. It's like they couldn't watch movies if they didn't have niggas to hook up to, or people to hook up to in their homes. We are continuity. We are satellite. We that satellite that we used to tape up on the wall for that station. They using us for that. But the truth is, that's also genocide. And I know this process is new. Look, somebody saying it, I don't know, is they? I think this is my mind. If they beat my mind, beat me to it with my mind, or I'm beating them to it with the mind. I'm gone, Wayne. I'm not. But anyway, this is genocide under 18 USC 1091. Those regulations, straight up. Look, if you go to Executive Order 13623, you will understand that Space Backbone Network, this right here, this is this is what they use to kill everybody overseas with. If you go to Executive Order 13623, you understand they use this to kill everybody overseas with. But the radio station is the catalyst. We make it stronger as extra components in that system. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you like a nigga, you like somebody got speakers hooked up in their trunk, big old speakers, but they got about 5, 6, which you ain't supposed to have that many amps, but you know, a nigga had about 30 amps hooked up in his car. to make them speakers loud. As people, we are equivalent to amps to speaker boxes. And I know as black people, we can relate to that more, but that's how you gotta look at yourself. You know how like somebody got speaker boxes hooked up to in their trunk, but they got like 3 or 4 amps to make it louder. Okay, as people, we are components in that network for the speaker box, which is channel 12, in a big way. But it's bigger than that because you got the satellites in space or whatever. You know what I mean? You got other satellites in other places too, but that's what makes it a network. But what I'm proving now, as seamen, and you see, this is what you gotta understand, man. So First Mason son, that's spiritual. You know, where they play the game, and that's really the mace to a nigga. You know, the First Mason son, right. And somebody says you're right. They using Eve and Asia. They getting this too to their brains, but they're using different patterns, and I understand that too. I totally understand different patterns too, that concept too, right? But in reference to this section code right here, 47 USC code 338, you know, all right, bye. When you seen Usher, I knew that was me and Eve. That was me and Asia. Okay, yeah. How did that come about? Cause they started when y'all was fucking. Okay, yeah, me and Asia, yeah, we used to fuck a lot. We used to fuck good, yeah. That's a good friend of mine to this day. Asia Lawrence is an FBI agent. And you will understand it if you look at 28 USC 513. Or maybe 8 USC 1427. And she's the 3 or the 4. She's one of the 3 or the 4 in parentheses. I want to check that out, man. I'll be turning this in the mail. I want recognition. I'm homeless. Bodies. Bye.